You're in the comment section for what? Let me just say right now before you're cleverly writing comments. Zach has already moved on to what is it? I thought he was doing a. First, the report was that Zach was doing a cop movie, and then he's doing UFC. So I don't know what the truth is. Either it's UFC or realistic cop movie. Maybe it's a TV show. And the only thing he was a consultant on for this one was should Superman have red trunks or not? Now, it's an interesting thing. I was going to do a review for some other Superman stuff, but I think I'm just going to stick to Absolute Superman 1 through 8. Can't review 9 because 9's not out until next week. Um, it had come to my attention. I got depressed because I wasn't sure what was going on. I saw this article and it said that Jerry Siegel's grandchildren have cameos in the movie. Now we know that Will Reeve, Christopher Reeve's son, is in the movie. I mean, he has a daughter too, but Will was in the movie as a reporter. And then you got Daily, so they're Daily Planet reporters. So everybody's daily. So you got Jerry Siegel's grandkids, okay? And then you got Will Reeve. So they're all Planet reporters as little extra cameos, okay? Um, and then you got the Joe Shuster lawsuit. So the family of Joe Shuster is suing for international rights, which is just when you think Jerry Siegel's family sues again, you know. But in foresight, it sounds good because you're not thinking about another lawsuit from the Siegel family. Now it's like something positive and uplifting and colorful, right? And I did see the third clip with the dog and the if a real dog saw a kaiju or a duende the size of a building, I think that dog would have fucked right off and be like, you know, because some dogs see elephants and be like, they just like they don't want to be there. Okay, here the dog like bark 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 bark, and Superman has to blow the dog away and stuff. And then I see the colorful fly like this. You see, just like it goes like this obvious shot, right, right, and it's like, is this what you all wanted? Okay, it's not wrong and it's not right. Again, we still remember that James Gunn said a long time ago that he couldn't relate to Superman. He didn't see the point. Now he loves Superman. It's just like with Kevin Smith and the He-Man and Masters of the Universe. So the whole thing with Jerry Siegel's grandkids being in, I feel like it's not that they shouldn't have positive energy, okay? It's the fact that Jerry Siegel stood for certain principles. He stood against the corporation. He stood against that, but they still sold it. Both Jerry and Joe sold Superman for $130. And at that time, in their 20s, well, in our 20s, we all do stupid shit. So I don't know where we're at with that. So they sold it for $130. Then after the war, or during the war, they made a move to put Superboy in the comic books without Jerry Siegel's permission. That's what started all the lawsuits and Jerry Siegel leaving the job, Joe Shuster's eyesight getting bad, Joe Shuster working at UPS, and this was according to Jerry Robinson that he brought that package over to the DC offices. People were like, "This, like, what's this?" And then they gave him, "Here's $100. Now get out of here. Get another job." They treat this old man like garbage, right? You treat Joe Shuster, the one who got everybody jobs at DC Comics, like garbage. So, and it's not even my problem. All this happened before I was even born. I was born in '78. I was born when Superman the movie came out. Okay, but the first time I ever knew Superman existed was the Jose Luis Garcia Lopez image, and it used to be on my. I used to have white paper bag lunches. Like I have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and maybe Ritz crackers. I'm trying to remember what I used to eat for lunch at 6 years old. Okay. I think I had the sort of a glittery like white, like a almost like a bright green and blue Superman logo yellow T-shirt. You know, it's a little T-shirt, right? That would fit a kindergartner, but I used to have that. And I would see parts of the movie in my subconscious, and they would have movie of the week. ABC used to air that like Sunday movie, like Ernie Anderson would be like the Sunday movie of the week, you know, da 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 da, right? So you would see Superman the movie on a Saturday night after it's been in theaters. That's the first time I knew, and Super Friends, and that's how I knew who Superman was. Okay, I didn't read comic books that far back. My older sisters did. So that's my earliest memory. And after that, it's just collecting comic books at 15 and then going onward. So I'm still watching the serial, 1948 serial with Carol Foreman, as I remember I told you about. Almost through with it. I don't know if I'm going to give a review. What is Superman anymore? Would Jerry Siegel approve of James Gunn stuff? I think yes, but with reluctance. Like there's some reluctance, you know. It's like not as eager to really support the guy. James Gunn to me represents the very people that like Mort Weisinger and all that stuff. The very people that didn't want to compensate the creators. They just wanted to take whatever was sold to them and just make their money off of it. And they didn't get enough compensation back then. Then they went through those lawsuits. But James Gunn to me is another corporate stooge. The Indian comments, as far as I'm concerned, they were just his moment of stupidity. Do I think his Greek behavior goes too far? Yes. Check the old Twitter. Remember his old Greek comments about kids? That's the way it was. Then he got fired from Disney, came back to the final volume of Guardians of the Galaxy, and then moved on to DC. And I did not like. I gave it an 8. When I was playing Lego DC Supervillains, I gave it an 8. Best case scenario, I think, is it'll be, if this was the best thing, I think it'll be like the Super Mario Brothers movie. I think it'll be a movie that people will enjoy. They'll go rah, rah, rah about it. I bet they won't see it again. It's like Jeremy, I can't wait. I think Jeremy Johns might be the first person to tell us, okay? But people will like it, but they won't love it. There's just too many dogs. It's all about the dogs, okay? Some people complain that he puts his wife or his brother or in-laws in the movie. That doesn't bother me. If you could find a place for people, fine. If they can really act, put them in the movie. Fine. Write the character for them, fine. But the whole dog thing goes way too far. Every clip we've been seeing is about the dogs. And you know the funny thing is, the Fortress of Solitude robots don't look bad. They look good. They have that frank, quietly, all-star Superman look. Until they start fucking talking, and then I have a problem. So 8 minutes in, almost 9 minutes, I'm just depressed. I don't know what to think anymore. I think it's just the fact that Jerry Siegel's grandkids are now part of this. I feel like I'm saying before, James Gunn is trying to buy his legitimacy. It's like when Tommy Tallarico was talking to Ralph Baer's grandson, or his son, I think. Like, oh, well, what do you think of my amico? Or what do you think Ralph Baer would think of my amico? I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So I think James Gunn is trying to cover his ass. He got on to an Indian television kind of show, like Dia TV in Los Angeles, California. We get digital channels. DIYA TV is like an Indian channel. Just like there's Native Americans, First Nations experience. There used to be a Lighthouse Network, like Black Church Network, and then they got replaced by other. Sometimes digital channels come and go. The networks stay, the ABCs, CBSs, NBCs. So anyway, James Gunn was on Indian TV after he made the comments. He's doing everything to cover his ass. Every time he's talking, he talks too damn much. If I talk too damn much. We all do. But I think, as Ryan Kindle was saying, you're trying to cover your ass for $300 million of a movie. The only good DC movie thing that came out was Batman Ninja versus Yakuza League. And even though it was not as good as the first, it's still a movie you could just sit there and enjoy. It had all the characters, and it felt good to watch it. I enjoyed it. I would say Batman Ninja was better, but I still enjoyed it. I would gladly watch that again. And everybody's talking about popcorn buckets and shit. The American way is no longer used. Well, Superman's got to stand for something. Tomorrow's an important day, ain't it? Would you imagine if you could never imagine if Superman came out tomorrow, or is supposed to debut tomorrow, and you couldn't mention the American way? That'd be a little awkward. Maybe that's why they moved it to the 11th, so that you don't have to pressure people about the American way. And David Cornswet even said that he wants to do an R-rated Superman movie next time. While Zack Snyder's not coming back, they may need him. He may come back as a consultant, not just on the trunks of what Superman wears, but real ideas. And I showed you my listings of all the comic book animated movies. So what my list of stuff that I showed you, there is no canon timeline. You know, like it makes sense to show Son of Batman to someone and then Justice League, because Deathstroke doesn't know Batman's identity, and then he finds out in the animated movie, in the live action Zack Snyder's Justice League, as opposed to Son of Batman. But there's two different movies. It's two different things. Or how Justice League Dark Apocalypse War is the final chapter of the 2010 animated stuff, but not for Zack Snyder stuff. But yet it makes sense as a final chapter. And yet, had Zack Snyder's movies played out, had all of James Wan's stuff played out, and I mean the Bruce Wayne cameos in Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom, had the Flash movie been allowed to play out the way it should have, and you know by the ending what I'm talking about, had we seen more stuff, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson could get over himself, and the two, Zachary Levi, the Shazam and Black Adam, all the what ifs. I even thought of a good like Thelma and Louise Wonder Woman Harley Quinn movie cameo crossover. Plastic Man. We could have seen John Mulaney as Plastic Man. Who knows? So many ideas. I'm just like, if we had seen that, if that had been done, okay, at the end of this, the Flash, we would have a real Flashpoint where you would see the Reverse Flash, you would see Darkseid. Darkseid destroys the Earth. Now the Flash, Ezra Miller, has to go back and rewind time, just like in the animated movie, Apocalypse War, and start over again. And we don't see what starts over again, but we know something's going to happen. And had James Gunn, instead of directing Superman, got someone else to direct Superman, and he produced it. I'm like I said, the only thing I liked was Brightburn. Okay, and James Gunn just produced that. So that's it. I'm super depressed, and I don't have much more to say. I don't like this while it's closed. And even Tyrone Magnus said this too. While it's closed, don't go to the theater. I don't like this Hutu or Haiti tribe, this African tribal thing where, like in Hotel Rwanda, you're either this tribe or that tribe. You're either Republican or Democrat. You're either a Nazi or a Jew. You're either white or you're black. You're either Zach or you're Zach or you're James. Snyder or Gunn. It's like, I like what I like, and I don't like what I don't like, because that is who the fuck I am. And you know what? There's a number of people who aren't on social media savvy, who just like the things they like, and they don't like the things they don't like. One person actually on Ping Pong Flicks, yes, I'm watching all the people. I watch all the people. Okay? On Ping Pong Flicks said, yeah, they got a ticket to go see the Superman movie, but they feel bummed out because all the hype and all the bullshit and all the jumping up and down, and they feel like they've already seen the movie before it even comes out. I think they got the ticket for the 8th, so on a Tuesday. So starting Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I'm just gonna review 2 issues each of Absolute Superman. That's what's gonna happen. Okay. I'm just kind of really rethinking what, if Jerry Siegel approves, it would approve of Superman. Okay. Because his grandchildren are in that. What does that make the creator? I'm not saying the creator would always make dark stuff, but it's just difficult to say. It kind of bummed me out to know that. Like James Gunn is trying to buy legitimacy. He wants Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. Well, Joe Shuster wouldn't approve because his family is suing for the international. The lawyer's suing for Mark Toberoff. So we'll see how that goes. I think Joe Shuster felt really burned out by the way he was treated 60 years ago. And Jerry Siegel would probably just suck it up and be like, okay, James Gunn is not these old farts from 1950s and 60s who fucked me over and used Superboy without my permission. So I guess he's a good guy. It's like, that's the way the creators would think. And that makes me sad because it's like, the right people for the right job. And and let me tell you, when I first saw Man of Steel, I didn't like it. When I saw Batman v Superman, I didn't like it. I liked the Ultimate Edition, and I've grown to like about maybe 70 to 80% of Man of Steel. Love Justice League, like 300. Don't know about the other movies, but just how it is. Watchmen, the last part I think was kind of odd. So that's it, 17 minutes. That's why I didn't do any Superman content last night. Just learning about the Jerry Siegel stuff was depressing. I don't know where I'm at anymore. I don't know what I should approach. You can go see it. You tell me how it is. But I kind of hate that something is killed off before it had time to mature. Henry Cavill can still play the character, but they won't let him do it. Not even for a laugh. And the fact that we are given a new dog or a new cat, it's like if your spouse dies, one week, let's let 6 months pass, 2 seasons pass, and then we'll get you a new boyfriend or new girlfriend. It's like, some days you just don't want to be forced into a new thing or into a new trend. And the fact that he keeps overcompensating himself, talking too much, James Gunn is the problem. He will be his own worst enemy when this movie comes out. And that's it. That's it. I like what I like, and I don't like what I don't like, because that is who the fuck I am. Have fun at the movies, whatever that means.